Bonnie's back. Well, I'm back for day 18 of Bonico Bingo. And we are getting down to the end. I am going to give it a few minutes. Hopefully I get a few people to join me tonight. I know sometimes the timing doesn't always work out. But let's see what happens. Let's see what stitch I pull today. Actually, I should tie up my hair again. I hope everybody had a great day. We are looking at a wintry mix again over here in Connecticut for tomorrow, tonight into tomorrow morning. So we'll see what happens as far as the school thing goes. Whew. Okay, so I think I am going to dig into the jar in just a minute and see what we get. I had so much fun doing the buttonhole with an irregular edge yesterday. I did that yesterday. I like how it sort of frames out the box itself. And I know somebody also tried it a little bit as a spiral. So that is fun. That's definitely a fun way to do it. But anyway, I don't want to keep everybody, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the stitch. Let's see what we get today. Aha! Today's stitch is the Tulip Stitch. So let me grab my notes. So it's this box, the Tulip Stitch. And I'll turn the camera around. All right. So let's talk about the Tulip Stitch, shall we? Hi Oksana. Today's stitch is the Tulip Stitch. That is right here on my bingo board. And let me find it in our samples. So Tulip Stitch is what we replaced. The original board had a bullion stitch, and we decided we were going to mix things up a bit, and we ended up replacing it with the Tulip Stitch. So this is an example of the Tulip Stitch here. And I love how Hannah used it, kind of connected, and did like a border with it. So that's another fun way to do it, is to actually just connect them. Or you can use them as fill and play around with the sizes. Here I made the tail or the stem of the Tulip Stitch a little bit longer to meet up with the edge of the yellow here. So, go ahead and play around with the colors if it's in a box with a lot of colors, or you can also mix and match the thread. So, hi Diane. So you could also do it so that the little chain stitch part has one color, and then the Y stitch has another color. So basically think of it as a chain stitch and a Y stitch got together and had a baby and birthed the Tulip Stitch. That's how I kind of picture it. I think that's a good description in terms of the composition of the stitch. So it's great for floral designs, borders, and also just as a fill stitch. All right. You can also play around with the thickness of your thread. So you can do a full strand and get something fuller. Hi, Laura. Today's the Tulip Stitch. So let me go ahead and show you how to make the Tulip Stitch. So as I said before, it's like a detached chain, a single chain stitch got together with the Y stitch and had a baby. So hi Melissa. Today we are doing the Tulip Stitch, and I am just about to demo how to create the Tulip Stitch. So let's see. I am going to use, I think I'll use the green today. All right. So this is 6 strands, but you can use however many you want. So what I'm going to do is start by making the chain. So I come up from the back at the point of the little tulip flower, and I hold that working thread down, and then I go back down in pretty much the same hole or just next to it, and just be careful not to go through the knot. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to that working thread and that loop. Let me just open this up so you can see it a little bit better. Hi, Hannah. And then you come up to make the chain. Okay, and you can play with your tension. If you want the tulip bulb to be a little bit fuller, then you can adjust that before you tack it down. Okay. Oh, my mom's here. Instagrandma Louie just joined us. Hi, Mom. I'm teaching them the tulip stitch now. Okay, so you make the stem, and then you go back and you make the little Y part. Okay, so I'm going to now go underneath here. And for me, it's easier to weave from right to left. So lefties, you may find it easier to go in the opposite direction. Okay, and then I come back up on the other end of the V. Oops, got caught in my fabric. All right, so that is the tulip stitch. Now the other thing you could do with the tulip stitch is you can make the stitch, if you wanted to make these little leafy stitches a little bit lower, you can do that by just creating 2 straight stitches on either side. So I'll show you what I mean by that now. Okay, and make the stem. And you can make that stem as long or as short as you'd like. And then you can go in and make a straight stitch in a V shape on either side. So that allows you to adjust where those stitches fall if you don't want to lace it underneath. Okay, so 2 versions of the tulip stitch. So let's go ahead and do it on the bingo board. And ours is right here. It's got a lot of different colors actually in there, so that'll be a fun one to do. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you also with 2 different colors how you might do that. Get that set up in the hoop. It's having a little trouble because the hoop is going over that bulky ribbed spider web, but that's okay. Make it work. Just loosen your hoop if you have to. And again, be careful of your extra fabric here. Don't sew through it. So I'm gonna go back and use the green thread. And if I want it to be, let's say I want them to look like they're a yellow tulip with a green base, what I would do then in that case is I would make the Y first. Okay. And then I'm coming up in the center. And then making the stem. And then while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and do this one. And you can do the sewing method if you'd like. So you go in on one side and back out. Make sure that thread is underneath the needle. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to tie that off. So as I was saying, my kids are hoping for a snow day or a delay. I'm hoping it's just a delay because we've already had a lot of snow days. But the timing of this storm coming in is such that it may go a little too far into the day for them to be able to do a delayed opening. So that's not good, but we'll see what happens. Safety first. Okay, so now I'm going to use, yes, Hannah says delay, please. I know. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the yellow thread, and I'm going to go ahead and make the chain part, or the little tulip bulb. So then I would go underneath that vertical tacking stitch and then back up to the point. So many snow days. I just hope it doesn't start messing with our April vacation, because I think we're only a few days before they start cutting into April vacation. So that's not fun. Okay, so there it is, the tulip stitch with a contrast tacking stitch. And then I'm gonna actually try what Hannah did over here before I switch to the orange, since I have all this yellow on here. Is I'm gonna make a little chain of them, because I think they look so cool. Oh, June 23rd, Oksana, really? I thought, how can that be? I thought we were going to be at June 21st if tomorrow's a snow day, isn't it? Oops, I need to come up on this side. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so many snow days. Oh, because Juneteenth, that's right. I forgot about that. Yes, you're right. That's possible. Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe the wind will blow it to sea or something. So we have had a lot of days off. Too many. And then we just had a bunch of days off for the President's Day weekend. So, yeah. The kids are happy, I guess. Well, the kids are not happy about it cutting into April break, though, if that happens. Okay, so I'm going to do this side. And back down this side. You know what this reminds me of is corn. Looks like an ear of corn. Not so much like a tulip, but an ear of corn. Okay, so here they are if you connected them in a row or in a column, I guess. And then let me switch and I'll do the orange one. Thank you, Hannah. Hannah said it's pretty, and it's actually just inspired by what you did, Hannah, because I loved how you connected yours on your sample. And so I needed to try it for myself. Okay, so now let's switch to the orange. And I'll do this one. So it's like a whole field of tulips if you'd like. Okay. Oops, don't catch the threads of the adjacent flowers. There. So you can see the difference on the left, the yellow ones, the chain part is done with 6 strands, and then on the orange one it's done with 3 strands. So you can see it's a little more delicate with the 3 strands. I imagine you could, I don't think this is like technically a tulip stitch, but I wonder if you could play around with making additional chains. What the heck, why not? Let's just try it and see what it looks like, because, you know, we're experimenting here. So let's just see what happens if you overlap it. I think that could be kind of pretty. And then do one on this side, because we're just making stitches up. Right? Hannah, don't we love to make stitches up? We make up stitch names, we make up stitches. Oops, I'm gonna split that chain. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. This tulip is opening a little bit more than its friends. There. So there's another version of a 3-petal tulip stitch, I guess. See, I just made up a new name. All right. So I'm going to tie that off and then let you, yes, we're very modern embroiderers. We'll use the embroidery term loosely, right? Not traditional, definitely modern. But go ahead and play around with the tulip stitch. Let us know how you like it. It's been really great seeing everyone's feedback and hearing about which stitches they like. So please do keep sharing. We do love to see what you guys come up with. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight. And tomorrow I hand it back to Hannah. So she will pull tomorrow's stitch for you. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye.